So, Dr. Silvio Liceti is a retired professor of history. He's a director of the Silvio Liceti Foundation, which he founded. The Silvio Liceti Foundation benefiting Italian high school studies, and the foundation recognizes awards to high school students excelling in Italian language, cultural studies, and leadership. So, he's a nationally syndicated columnist. He's an author 6 times plus. May I present Dr. Silvio.
Well, thank you very much. I'm pleased to be here, and I think I can share a few thoughts with you that will complement the words that we heard from our 2 excellent speakers. I want to compliment both of them. I do have my foundation, which I brought together because of my concern about the loss of Italian heritage among 3rd, 4th, X-generation Americans, Italian Americans. You have to go beyond the Italian American community at times to bring the message home. And Patty has done this, and so have we. One thing, the foundation does more than just give out the Garibaldi Award, which is our flagship award. We haven't done it yet because there's only one person that's going around giving all these awards, but there'll be awards for theological studies. Nobody gets awarded for that, but it's an important aspect of our society. There'll be awards for classical studies and majors in ancient history, but there'll be some. And I think Patty had one such student who, if I may just interrupt my speech and ask Patty, which was your student who was the one who's doing the archaeological work? You said he would be on this film. Which one was he?
Yeah, his name is Nick. He's studying right now archaeology. He came to visit me on a college break. He is leaving in May for Orvieto. He's going to do a dig for 3 months. And his professor told him, you're the only student fluent in Italian who is going. You're going to be the translator for the whole group. He's just an amazing young man.
Well, these are some of the things that the foundation does. As Andre said, you seek the news outlets. If something is different, rare, original, discovered, then they're going to be interested. Now, I see a number of things in the Italian Tribune, as an example, that I could give you a way of looking at it. One of the articles, I guess it was by Dave Cavalieri, to me was so fascinating. And I called him and I said, you should really write this for a travel magazine. And I tried to get it, spread around a little bit more. The other Leaning Towers of Italy. We all know about the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But he had an article about all the other ones that go this way and that way. And if you've been to Italy, you see them. But nobody ever wrote about them. Now, he'd be an excellent person with his, if he has, I don't know what he's got, but that kind of thing would be an excellent newsworthy program. There are other Leaning Towers. Be timely. That's another way of saying hot news, but sometimes cultural events can be timely, and you don't have to get into politics. Highlight the special achievers, especially young people. News media loves young people, like Patty's archaeology student. Another thing you can do, and this has been touched on, have a computerized consortium of Italian-American organizations, the whole national network. Every organization should be able to contact every other organization and send out their programs, send out their information, the highlights, learn things. How did you do this? Or why did that work? And a kind of an in-house network that we will all belong to. Finally, outreach to non-Italians. Italian studies, political matters, cultural events, history of Italy, that affects many other people. Seek to broaden and affiliate with Italophiles, as we might call them, others who like the Italian culture for one reason or another. An example is Patty's Spanish students, African students, but also for my own students. We have Kayla here who may wish to say some things about being a non-Italian, in love with all things Italian. And she received a Garibaldi Award. And we have two runners, one from your area, Devin Hart, he's not Italian, and Chris Romero, sounds Italian, from Hunterdon County. But they got sportsmanship awards, not Garibaldi Awards. So we have that outreach, and there'll be more. And I don't see any reason why it can't happen. Let me leave you just with this thought that we hear a lot about inclusion, and we've heard the problems of getting high schools to do more Italian studies. Well, our next and I think last speaker is going to address what she did to bring about the kind of change that everybody here wants to see. And the amazing story is she did it pretty much on her own. That required a lot of effort. So I was very proud to give her the Garibaldi Award. Alicia from Lyndhurst High School, would you please come up and share your experience?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Chairman Robert D. Piazza and esteemed presenters, I want to thank you for all your inspiring words, and I want to thank you for providing me with the opportunity to speak. I especially want to thank Silvio Lachetti for truly hearing my story and valuing me enough to share it with you today. It is very fitting that this summit is being held during Italian Heritage Month, and that it is a few weeks after celebrating Columbus Day. Christopher Columbus crossed an ocean because of the strength of his convictions. While I don't know my way around a boat, and while my story does not entail me crossing an ocean, it does illustrate how I was determined to do something in my own community to keep Italian culture alive. In the spring of 2015, my 8th grade graduation was approaching, and I had to finalize my decision on where I would be continuing my education. I wanted to attend the public school in my town, Lyndhurst High School, but there was one problem. Italian language instruction was discontinued in favor of a different language. This was problematic because I always imagined myself learning proper Italian in high school, considering the only base of the language I had was a mix of Napolitan and Barese dialects from my parents, and that is no linguistic beauty. I was truly bewildered at the school's decision because my township was made up of more than 50% of people with Italian parents or Italian ancestry. I was not going to let this obstacle hinder my growth. I decided to type a formal letter to the Board of Education expressing the importance of saving a language that is and was spoken by half the town's ancestors and immediate family. Thankfully, I received positive correspondence, which indicated that interviews were going to be conducted in search of an Italian teacher. That fall, I entered LHS as a freshman, and the Italian program was reinstituted in our high school. Since then, the school has not only retained the Italian language program, but it has hired a second teacher to keep up with enrollment. With the additional teacher, not only was Italian 1, 2, and 3 available, but now soon, honors and AP courses will soon be available. While I cannot take full credit for the reinstitution of the program, I can use my story as a means to communicate one important belief. It only takes the voice of a small group of dedicated people to work to retain and reinforce our Italian culture in New Jersey. My persistence guaranteed that Lyndhurst High School would allow me to learn more about my culture, draw a bridge from past tradition to the present, and pursue fluency. I want to thank you for hearing my story today, and I look forward to working with all of you to inspire an Italian language and culture renaissance in New Jersey.